Sup you beautiful people. Hope you've had a fantastic day. Welcome back to a brand new episode of What If Deku Was an Artificial Human. If you guys enjoyed this what if, comment down below and let me know. And go ahead and check out other what ifs in the channel after watching this video. Don't forget to shower some appreciation onto the incredible author responsible for this fanfiction. The link is conveniently waiting for you in the description box down below. Before we get into it though, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and also share this video with your friends. So let's start this video. Izuku put his black bag over his back. Well, the hero class A wasn't going to UA for a few days to the death of Iida. That didn't mean he couldn't go. Sure, he was spouting blood, but he couldn't stay away for so long. Would someone eventually connect the dots? Hopefully not. They only knew his sickness was something serious. How can he prove it? Fake doctor's notes and certificates, of course. He made sure his eyes were purple as his hair was in the form of his other persona Izuru Yamakumo. His villain activities were going to be put on part-time. Right now, he needed to play the part of the student during the day, and only acting in his villain persona out of those hours. He entered onto UA grounds, and it was oddly quiet when he passed the hero classrooms. Class 1B being the only first-year class in at the moment, he continued on as he proceeded to 1H. Sorry I'm late. He apologized as he entered the classroom looking like he came from a zombie flick. The amount of blood hitting the floor was quite impressive. Kumo, are you okay? That's way more blood than usual. Are you sure you should be here? Midnight asked. Your guardian told me about your illness acting up, and your doctor also rang. Guardian? Thanks for the save, sensei. The teen inwardly smiled. I see. And I went out of my way to get the doctor's note and certificate too. If you're truly fine, please take a seat. Got it. Midnight smiled as she gestured to the board. As you can see, we have planned for you to have work experience at different hero offices, she revealed. Because of you working in the support course, you could go into multiple branches of hero type work. For example, you could work as a teacher for the next generation of support course kids, or perhaps you'll go straight into costume support. You might be contracted for other work outside of the hero business. But the one thing you could end up working for selected hero branches. Midnight threw her arms to the sides as the board was more focused on hero offices. You could work for multiple hero offices, or only work for just one. Many heroes would love to have a personal costume and gadget support team member in their office. Especially due to low members the support group produces. Midnight lost her smile as she began to say something else. Sadly, as you may be aware, Hosu was attacked by the League of Villains and the hero killer Stain. And as a result, a student was killed. The whole class stayed silent. No one said a word. It was silent respect for the dead. We were planning on sending you all to hero offices, but now we are holding back with that plan for now. Midnight told them all. Especially when so many hero offices from Hosu are now off limits. Then what do we do? Asked Joker. I'm glad you asked. We're still going to send you to hero offices. But we are going to send you to ones that aren't in Hosu. Midnight revealed yet again. However, unlike what we had planned, you won't choose who you will go to, but who will pick you. So heroes will come around and choose us. That also allows us to potential work out of our comfort zones. I wonder what heroes will pick us. Okay, calm down now. Midnight clapped to get her class's attention. We will be talking with potential heroes and discuss who should go with who. However, heroes including myself and other teachers, including All Might, will not be taking you in. Sadly. Izuku raised an eye at that. Albeit she did whisper it under her breath as she had turned around. Anyways, she began to clean the board for whatever next lesson they had next. As we speak, we are searching for your potential hero office workplace. Until then, continue as normal. Yes, sensei. As the day progressed, the class was dressed in their PE uniforms. They all waited outside, and Mei seemed to already be suffering from withdrawal symptoms. She just wanted to make babies. I see you're all ready for PE class, the teacher said as he came over. Sorry I'm late. Thank God you're here, Echo-sensei. Yamakumo called out. Hatsume was suffering from withdrawal symptoms. The teacher, who turned out to be known as the hero Echo, sweat dropped. I see. He then coughed into his hands. We will continue class as per usual. Echo was a man with straight blonde hair that wore a purple sleep mask that covered only his eyes, as his hair covered a small part above the sleeping mask. He wore a long-sleeve white shirt with some thin vertical black lines, mainly on the inside of the arms and his sides, and he wore some matching pants with the same patterns. Much like his hero name implied, his quirk was related in some way. The quirk he had was called echolocation. Echolocation allowed Echo to see objects and people by reflected sound, kind of like a bat or a dolphin. It was the reason he wore the sleep mask. It was to boost the effectiveness of his quirk. No one could hide from Echo with a quirk like that. The quirk mainly relied on his ears, mainly in his mouth, but he was skilled even to just use breathing to send sound out. He was a pro hero after all. He was their PE teacher. The class shared a look before Echo had walked to an area near a shed. Don't worry. I have plans to make it somewhat different. After pressing some buttons, he opened the shed. You have 10 minutes to prepare yourself with these gadgets. He told the class as Meg came back to life at the mention of those gadgets. After those 10 minutes are up, it's up to you to prevent me from either finding you, or if I find you, avoid me. Echo then waved his hand as the students left. Oh. And remember, you can go solo or in a group, he said as the students practically raided the shed and spread out. Echo lifted his sleeping mask up for a second and pulled it back down. Ah. Peace and quiet. The hero lied on the ground, turned to the side and fell asleep. Oh? The timer was set to 10 minutes though. So that was a thing. Lazy bastard. So we're playing hide and seek again. Izuku mumbled. I swear it's only for him to get some extra sleeping hours. I mean, if he wanted to sleep, he could just make it a free period. Yeah. He's quite lazy once you see past that pro-hero appearance of his. Joker sighed. Hatsume was already digging into the machinery. Oh, how I missed you babies. She whispered like a mother to a child. At least one of us is having fun. Joker whispered as Izuku nodded. We have around 9 minutes to prepare ourselves. The currently purple-haired teen brought up. And against Echo-sensei's quirk, we can't really hide. Only run. We need something to throw his echolocation quirk off us. Joker mumbled loudly. Got any ideas, Hatsume? About 500. The pink-haired inventor revealed. We don't have the time to hear 500. Out of those 500, pick the top 3. Izuku deadpanned towards her. Number 1. Release some of gas to stop Echo-sensei from sending out the sonar for his quirk to work. Number 2. Simply stay out of reach, high in the sky. Number 3. Just like 2 but underground. I'm taking the gas. Joker immediately said. Well, my babies can't do underground. Hatsume said as Izuku rolled his eyes. Guess I'm going under. Thanks guys. He said. I think we should just split from each other then. They watched as Izuru ran off. They glanced at each other before bolting with their gear. Echo yawned as he whacked the alarm before doing some stretches. He didn't know why he bothered with the alarm. He was having such a nice dream. Then he woke up. 32 seconds before the alarm went off. Running his hand along his neck, he turned to the wide field where his students could be. Time to listen to my own echo. And with that, the pro hero used his quirk to find his students. The first student he found was Hatsume. And that was because she was in the open. In a tree. Using her gadgets that seemed to be grappling hooks to stay in the air out of reach. And when he got closer to her by going up the tree, she quickly left to another area like the side to a building. Maybe I should have banned their gadgets. The hero thought before sighing. Hatsume. You pass. Hatsume grinned as the hero continued on. The next person he came across was Joker, who tried to use gas. It worked for the most part. He could send out a sonar to receive sound back. But Joker himself made noise. And when Joker realized his mistake, it was too late for the clown. Damn it. Better luck next time, Joker. Now out of this trio. Where's the last one? He wondered as he went to find the last of the trio while catching and missing some of the other students. Izuku yawned. It was too dark in here. He just wished that Echo found him quickly. Why did he have to pick the last and only option? He wasn't an underground animal. It was dark, tight, and the entrance was sealed. The only way Sensei could find it was if he took his sleeping mask off, but due to the sleeping mask helping his quirk. Yeah. It seemed he might be here for a while. I wonder if I can surrender. And so, the purple-haired teen stayed underground for the next few minutes, deciding what to do. Echo yawned as he looked at the students. Apparently when Izuku decided to surrender, Echo had given up on searching. So they settled for a draw. For now. But Echo wasn't done with the class yet. We still have plenty of time left. Then, what do we do? I would give you free time. But that might cause more noise for me. So I want you all to. Echo then kicked a ball. Have a ball. What? Joker asked, breaking the silence. Play a sport. Any sport. This ball is clearly one for football or soccer depending on who you ask. How about this? You play a game of soccer and when you're finished, you can go through the obstacle course. Or we can immediately stop when you fall asleep. Izuku added. That is true. But you're still not allowed to leave the grounds before the bell rings. I know. Do the obstacle course and then you have free time to play any sport of your choice or take a nap. I highly suggest the latter. You lazy bastard. Well, night. Echo said as he was already in a sleeping position. And dozed off. So do we do the obstacle course? Joker asked. When has he really cared when he wants to sleep? Izuku asked back. Good point. Meanwhile back in the main building of UA, Midnight was sitting at her desk in the teacher's office. She was subconsciously doing a sexy leg over leg pose, despite being alone. She looked over some of the pro heroes that were up for the support course workplace program. It was then she stood as she held the files for her class and the heroes that chose the students to bring into their work experience. It was time to discuss the program with the heroes, and then give the news to the class. She wondered, would the heroes be able to put up with her class? Probably not. Who knows? At least she wouldn't be the only person that would have to go through her students' antics when it came to her. A break from them was nice. Echo turned in his sleep as his students of class 1H decided to do their own thing. They left the sleeping man alone in the field. As the lazy bastard slept, all the students of 1H headed back to the classroom. Hatsume just wanted to work on her babies more and was practically dragging her two friends with her. The problem was that the hero didn't place his alarm down. He was going to expect the students to wake him up. They never came back and he kept sleeping. What kind of hero sleeps all day? Joker asked, being dragged by a pretty fast Hatsume. Echo. Was the dead response from Izuku. It was as if he answered this type of question a million times. I understand it helps with working at night and all. Izuku focused his attention on the surroundings they were practically speeding through while being dragged by Hatsume. It wasn't long before they reached 1H. Aha! I'm back, my babies. Hatsume let go of the two after the sudden stop before disappearing inside the room. They could already hear the machinery turn on inside. Hatsume. Both Joker and Izuku looked inside the room. Hatsume was already at work on a device, before the grinding sound of her head slowly turned around, as she looked at them with a wide grin that was practically creaking, and her eyes were wide open, going past their limits. Joker and Izuku closed the door, slammed, with different expressions. Both of them were not expecting that from Hatsume. At all. I think she is suffering from withdrawal symptoms. Izuku said to the clown, but the straight man gave him the same horrified look he gave Hatsume. You call that withdrawal symptoms? The clown pointed at him and back to Hatsume behind the door. That is clearly not withdrawal symptoms. I mean, she wasn't gone that long. Are you implying that she's crazy? I'm not saying anything. I'm going in. Maybe she's back to plain old innocent Hatsume. Kumo. No. Yami. What perfect timing. Hatsume smiled. I just wanting to test out my latest baby. She then started stroking the device. She needs some sort of intervention. Wanna test it? She asked with that same face when she was trying to learn about his bad gadget. He meant gadget. She was giving him those eyes again. Although it was a bit weaker due to it being further away from him. And of course that sent those memories from before coming straight back at him like he was being hit by a truth bullet, or the defense attorney just pulled out that final piece of evidence that proved your guilt. Damn it. He turned his head from her and nodded. We're friends, aren't we? He asked. Hatsume smiled and nodded. Yep, good old friends. She smiled, unaware of Izuku's dilemma. She was too innocent for this world at times. He goddamned blushed. Not even being in very close proximity to Midnight got that reaction. Those pleading eyes, wavering lips, pressing of her chest against his body. Fuck. He was thinking about it again. Well, to be fair, this was only the second time. Or was it the third? Either way, he shook those thoughts out. Hey. Do you think we should let Joker back in? He asked as he had walked over to Hatsume's workbench desk. Huh. Won't he come in later anyway? That's true. So what's this thing here? Izuku inspected the device. This baby can monitor a person's heartbeat and send it out through the speaker-like amplifiers. She told him. I think her name was Jiro. She's the person whose quirk I was assigned to for our project. How interesting. He nodded, looking at the device. Each of them was assigned one of the Hero Course Kids' quirks for their assignment. Ah, she was the one with the earphone jack quirk, right? That's the one. She placed the device down. Who was yours? I got Monoma and his copy quirk. He revealed. But since we have little students in the support course, I suppose after we finish this we would be assigned a new person who hasn't been worked on yet. That's the most likely thing that would happen. And once again she beamed towards him. But your baby would have multiple functions. I mean, there's so many quirks a copy quirk can well copy. Maybe. However, some quirks can be worked to have a gadget attached. Yeah, that would be a problem. But what of your other baby? Hatsume asked. Are you going to show me your baby? Is it finished yet? She was pressing against him again. Hatsume, realize what you're doing. The purple-eyed teen thought. It's not done yet, but you'll be the first one that I will show it to. Really? She had a wide smile. Yep. He nodded. I'll show you it when it's done, or at least in working condition. Thank you, Yami. She threw her arms around him and surprisingly found himself being spun around. I can't wait to see your baby. He smiled nervously with a blush. Maybe we can work on a baby together. Hatsume stopped, put him down and looked him in the eye. I mean, 2 inventors are better than 1 after all. That's a great idea. Eh? Is it really? I thought you would say no. No, this way or should I say our babies will be of higher quality. Hatsume, careful with your words. The teen had to look away from her. Please don't smile at me like that. Izuku coughed into his hands to get things somewhat back on track. If there was a track to begin with, but knowing her, they were probably off-road from the get-go. Hey Hatsume. You don't mind how your babies get out there, right? No, why? She asked with a tilt of her head. I was just wondering. I mean, we can go work at hero offices or work at invention companies or even start our own. I'm happy to get my babies out there anyway. That sounds kind of dangerous. He pointed out. I mean, what if one of your customers is a villain? I never thought of that. She then began to ponder. Then that would be the same as a serial killer buying rope from hardware stores and knives from other shops. I never knew they were going to use it for villainy, just that they wanted to buy it, so I made it. She really does only want to make babies. Now let's get to work on our baby. Eh? Right now? He asked. Of course. Echo-sensei is still sleeping. Alright. Midnight tapped her foot as she looked down at the sleeping hero known as Echo. He was shrugging his duties again by sleeping. Honestly, it was like he joined the teaching roster to sleep. She gripped her whip before cracking it on the ground, causing Echo to jolt up. I'm awake. He then saw he woke him up. Oh, it's just you. What do you mean, only me? She asked with a twitch of her eye. Exactly what it sounds like, Night. He lied back down. The hell, you're going back to sleep. She stopped him from doing anything else. You've been asleep for far too long. No, I haven't. The kids were going to wake up 5 minutes before the lesson ended. The lesson ended 2 hours ago. Oh? What nice kids. I should reward them for their act of kindness. No? She immediately said. You are going to stay awake and teach your next class. What are you going to do? Use your quirk? He asked with a smile. Midnight's response was to crack the whip. No. I'm not putting you back to sleep. It was then she got her sadistic smile on her face. But I'm not above not using my whip. I think teaching is a good cause. Too late. Are you okay, Kumo? Joker asked as the school continued into its final hour. My midnight senses are tingling. Where the hell did you get that? Don't tell me. It was from when she held you back that one time and you looked at lunch. Joker pointed out. What did she do to you for you to get those senses? Did she hurt you? You should sue if she did. I'm fine, Joker. Izuru gave him a nice strong thumb pointing to the sky. You don't look fine with blood dripping down your mouth. It's perfectly fine, I'm fine. Blood is still pouring down your face and mouth like a goddamn waterfall. Don't it worry about it, Joker. The teen said as more blood was spouting out of his mouth. What did you say? That sentence doesn't sound right. I knew what you meant, but it don't it worry about. Izuku spat the blood out and smiled. I'm fine now. I don't believe you. Now, let's finish this. Don't continue like nothing happened, goddammit. Joker's shouting fell on deaf ears. Ignored once again. Izuku rested at the bar as he looked around. I guess we're going to deal with that trigger business now? He asked. That's right. Kurogiri nodded. We'll be leaving and meeting them near H3LL's UKFR. At the ring. Really? He asked. The Mistman nodded. Yes, in a place where you unleash your quirk and kill your opponent. With Trigger, imagine how bloody the fights would be. Pretty bloody. The green-haired teen grinned at the thought. It's like setting two berserkers on each other. That's right. Will Tomura and I be coming? No. He is going over a plan for how to kill All Might for the next time. Am I going alone? Stain will be going with you and Noumu if you wish to take him. Noumu can stay here. Very well. I'll contact Stain, and the two of you will meet with the dealer and defector. Kurogiri stopped as he was about to leave. Who knows, they might show you Trigger up close in the ring. That would be nice, actually. Izuku said. Getting to see the product in action would be beneficial to her own serum. Sometimes I wonder if you joined the business course instead of the support course. Nah, I wouldn't change from the support course. It's too much crazy fun there. One last thing. What is it? Izuku felt a cold chill in the air. I noticed that you were assigned a written homework assignment. And it's still not done, not to mention due tomorrow. Kuro. When I get back with Stain, it better be done. Understand? Yes. Thank you, Izu. Then he disappeared. Geez, Kuro, we're villains. But I don't want Midnight to hold me back again. He shivered. I better go do that. Izuku dressed up nicely for his villainous deeds of the night. And by villainous, he meant obtaining both the drug trigger and the traitor that wants to join them. After fixing his sleeves, he walked downstairs and made sure his collar was popped, cause why not? Eh? I thought you were going to wear what you wore yesterday. The voice of Stain called out as he sat on his stool drinking a cold one. Can't wear green cargo pants all the time, Stain. The green-haired teen nodded in the direction of the hero killer. Stain noticed something in the kid's hand as his gaze drifted back up. What's with those visor goggles? I contemplating whether to bring them again or not. I only used them once, and that was for one quirk. Hell, this only exists for one quirk. Yeah. You and that big guy showed multiple. Izuku was twirling the goggles in his hands. They were only used for his quirk optic blaster, a quirk that allowed him to shoot lasers from his eyes, or charge them up for a more powerful version. The goggles turned the lasers into a single laser which combined the two and became more powerful. Without it, he just shot 2 lasers from each of his eyes. The visor-like goggles were in fact useful to power up his lasers. But it restricted another eye-related quirk of his. One more for sneaking around and such, but that was for a later time. You ready to go? The hero killer looked at him and back to his drink before downing it all in one. Now I am. Kurogiri, Warpus. The portal opened for the two jumped in as Izuku put on the sci-fi visor goggles on. Just in case you know. The two appeared within an alleyway that hid them from the main streets. H3LL is other there. Izuku pointed out. Oh, and don't worry about getting caught in there. A lot of these people keep quiet about this sort of thing. So it's true what Kurogiri said. This place is an underground quirk fight ring. Izu could hear Stain groan in disgust of the place. What can you do? Everyone in this warped society, while leaves their fate up to heroes, also has desires to see it go further than just capturing the villain. He smiled as they walked down a flight of stairs. People want to see blood, adrenaline and excitement from the battles between heroes and villains, and while it is satisfying, they aren't happy with something like that. They want to see death. That's how fucked in the head society is. Look at the news. We are exposed to death nearly every day. We live off this stuff. Hence why places like this are popular nowadays. He gestured to the quirk ring. People love this stuff, Stain. TCH. Stain turned his head from the youth. There's still more cleansing to be done. Seems a match is about to begin. Izuku noted before walking in the opposite direction, mainly to the fighters' locker or waiting room where their target should be located at. Standing against a wall seemingly waiting with what appears to be a briefcase was a young girl wearing a school uniform with one of her eyes was hidden not only by her hair, but also an eye patch as she looked at her nails that had dark nail polish on them. This is who we're meeting? Izuku asked as he walked forward. He was informed that they would be holding a suitcase full of trigger. Didn't really occur to him that it would be a girl his age though. B? He asked as the girl turned and smiled at them. That's me. I guess you're the love. Izuku nodded at her question. That's great. I can't tell you how boring it is to do this and not get anywhere in the long run. Now, come. Let's watch it in action. What an odd person. She seems fake. Stain looked down at the green-haired youth and back at the girl. What's with kids being the villains these days? He mumbled lightly as he followed the two. All the attention was centered on the ring. No one paid attention to how the two League of Villain members were there. It was quite a new experience to Stain though. The three sat near the back as they watched the two contests come out. And clearly on the drug. The first was a man whose quirk was amplified to become a full-fledged gorilla, as his original quirk was gorilla arms. The second was another man whose quirk was amplified to be able to produce spiked tendrils from his back. His original quirk couldn't get them out that far or as many as he had now. Izuku crossed his arms as he watched the match begin quickly, as the two men doped on Trigger, immediately clashed towards like two wild animals. Trigger does seem to make them lose their minds, but seeing them use their quirk like that, it's inefficient. Gorilla had landed a strong right hook on the tendril man whose tendrils wrapped around the gorilla man, and seemed to also stab him. It seems that these people are truly enjoying themselves. Stain thought as he watched the crowd rather than the people. The cheers for blood grew and grew as either the gorilla man or the tendril man got one up on each other. Humph. I guess I'll dispose of these cowards at a later date. The currently unnamed girl removed her view from the ring and towards the two sitting next to her. The hero killer Stain and the villain from both the Hosu attack and the UA invasion. Boy was she glad she decided to get into the League of Villains before the Hosu incident occurred. If she played her cards right, she could become a villain. Rather than the part-time drug dealer villain whenever school was out. Oh yes, she was still a student, and that irked her. Here he was sitting next to her, a teen the same age as her, and he seemed to be a full-fledged villain. She seemed to notice how Stain just watched the crowd, and how Izuku focused on the two fighters. Was this perhaps a security measure? Stain is the defense and the green-haired villain she had yet to learn the name of focused on the effects of Trigger. However, it seemed that the green-haired teen seemed very comfortable here. How do you like the effects of Trigger? She asked. I admit, its effects are nice. However, I do not like how it makes the user into a mindless killing machine. That would get useful pieces caught. She smirked at his words and pointed to her briefcase. I understand that, but my previous boss is still working on Trigger to boost its self-control. She revealed. However, it's taking far too long. Right? Izuku said unblinking. You seem very calm here if I do say so. I thought you'd be more on edge here. I doubt this place would be a trap. The former Midoriya said. It's just that I recognize most of the people here as regulars. Wait, you came here before? She asked the teen who nodded. So you watched brutal matches like this one? I did. But I also took part in them. You did? Izuku nodded once again. You'll learn that shortly. A hint is right in front of your eyes. She pouted while being ignored by her fellow teen. Right in front of her eyes. Why can't he just tell her? Oh well, it sounded like he would tell her anyway if she didn't get it. That is if he was alluding to his stage name down in the ring. Tendril had pierced Gorilla's arm once again as another tendril was wrapped around the other man's neck. Gorilla's arm strength was too powerful and easily rip off the tendrils. It didn't take long for the Kong-like man to rip the arms off the tendril man. It was then the beatdown began as the fist slam after fist slam dug the tendril man into the ground. He had been dead for the past minute, but the gorilla kept going. The girl watched as Izuku just shot a laser from his Psi-5 visor, killing the gorilla man instantly. That match was taking too long to end thanks to that endless pounding. Izuku said as he stood. Come and Stain, see if you can retrieve the bodies. He pointed down at the ring. Eh? Stain was surprised at that. Why me? He asked. I doubt you would want to work out the negotiations. Stain said nothing and left to retrieve Gorilla and Tendril. Izuku took her to a nearby room as the crowd stayed for the next match. Well, I guess it's time for introductions, the girl said. I'm Queen Hachisuka, a part-time villain, and my quirk is Queen Bee. I assume your quirk revolves around that left eye you hide. He pointed out. I am Izuku Shigaraki. Hachisuka let out a whistle before asking another question. What's your quirk? You saw the news, didn't you? My quirk is multiple. Multiple? As in, just having multiple quirks. That's right, but tell me about your quirk. As soon as Izuku said that, Hachisuka felt a shiver. She had no idea why, but shiver she did. My quirk is basically a swarm of apocrita, bee and wasp-like creatures, that are nested behind the medical patch on my left eye. I can produce numerous of them, and I can dispatch my phalanx to cover heavily populated metropolitan areas. She began. I'm guessing the side effect is that they're connected with you in some way, perhaps biophysically. That's right, I'm connected to them biophysically, and I receive pain whenever they are injured or destroyed, as well as gain insight to whatever experiences or information they glean. Very useful. Can you show me one? Hachisuka removed her eye patch briefly, as a single bee came out with a different type of stinger, that looked like a syringe. Are these stingers natural or modified? I'd say both. She told him. I use these stingers as syringe delivery systems, which is useful for injection of drugs or other such contaminants. I got to say, Hachisuka, you have one useful quirk. He said as he looked at the trigger in the suitcase as the apocrita went back to Hachisuka. And you supplied us well. Thanks. She smiled as the wasp-like creature crawled back onto the eye patch. My babies can get any job done. It was then Izuku's head snapped towards her. What did you call them? My babies. Oh god, not another one. He inwardly panicked. He thought Hatsune was enough with calling her gadgets babies, but now Hachisuka calling her bees babies. He would be hearing gadget babies during the day and bee babies during the night. He can't handle that. He can't handle hearing babies all day. I got the bodies. Stain said, walking and getting Hachisuka's attention. What's wrong with him? He looks like he's going through some dilemma. You okay, kid? I'm fine, Izuku said as he closed the suitcase. Let's get back. The green-haired teen turned to Hachisuka, who stood there with a smile. Hachisuka, try not to use that mask of yours too much, even if it may be better than your true personality. She was about to retort before he said the next 6 words. Oh, and welcome to the League, he told her. When Hachisuka had officially joined the League of Villains. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey today. I hope you enjoyed exploring the fascinating what-if scenario of Deku. The possibilities were truly mind-blowing. If you found this video entertaining, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to bring you more captivating content in the future. Stay tuned for more exciting what-if stories and other amazing videos coming your way. Until next time, take care, stay curious.